away. You are a firework.
You're
Baby,
a firework.
Yeah. Come on, show me what you're worth.
Colors
And your
burst.
colors burst. Make them go, oh, oh, oh. Oh. What's up?
Feeling patriotic.
Are you feeling patriotic? This is the most patriotic shirt I have here. In Lake Tahoe, I wear my eagle dress every year.
That's a nice eagle you got there.
But I couldn't wear it this year because like I'm going to Africa.
I'm gonna be in Africa.
So I'm not going to have my eagle dress but I wore my Leonard Skinner eagle shirt instead. And I have little star earrings. See, look, I'm as patriotic
Look
as
at
can
you.
be this
I was
week.
gonna wear a headband, but I couldn't find it.
we're a hot mess. We
getting
can't
it
find all
together
our
today.
patriotic stuff. We need to go.
My
I think we need to
eyeballs
do a
are
little shopping.
dilated. I can't find my headband. It's a weird one.
I have pretzel stuck in my teeth.
How's your
Can
mom?
you see? How's your mom?
That's what you do.
That's what you do?
Yeah, you go, how's your mom?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a pageant thing, isn't it? My pageant
Probably.
girl.
Probably.
Teach me like when you say bat and cave.
Oh, yeah. Boogies.
Oh, what did I hear the other day? Sheamus, the wrestler, said to someone their fly was down, and what did he say? He said it in a really
Shut the barn door before the cow gets out.
something like that. It was something like, you're flying low. I think he said you're flying low.
That's
I think that's what it was, and I was like, I gotta remember that one. That must be Irish, but I'm
Shut
not
the
sure
barn
that it
door
is.
before the cow gets out.
Shut the barn door.
Straight out of Alabama for you.
So nasty. I digress. Patriotism.
Patriotism.
America.
Burgers. Hot
Apple
dogs.
pie.
Apple pie.
Fireworks. I'm always going to come back to fireworks.
Independence. Freedom.
Independence, freedom. So, in Lake Tahoe last year, we couldn't do fireworks because
Fires.
fires. Very big fire season
That's a
happening right
problem.
now. So they did drones, but it wasn't as fun.
Well, no. Things exploding in the sky is typically
I know, more exciting.
what we want.
I know it's not environmentally friendly, and I'm all about the environmentally friendly stuff, but
You know what
the
else I
drones
really
are no
loved?
fun.
And some people might not like that I loved this, but back when Donald Trump was president and that one year he did the giant parade where he showed all of the military vehicles on 4th of July.
Oh, he pulled in North Korea?
It was so cool. I loved seeing the big tanks up back.
Of course you did. Of course you did. No, actually, can I tell you that
Watch it fly over.
the 4th of July parade in Lake Tahoe there's a bunch of them all around the lake, but there's one in our town and it's so epic. The SWAT team comes through. First, of course, the kids come riding on their bikes.
Yeah.
Then come the old cars and the Rotary Club. And then
Do you have the Shriners in the little mini cars?
I probably.
love that.
Masons, the Masons or something, the Freemasons.
Yeah.
But then come our surviving heroes from World War II.
There you go.
Right? Surviving heroes from World War II and then Vietnam and Korea. And then comes SWAT team, which is so fun. I just love seeing those
In
trucks.
their full gear.
The trucks mainly.
I mean, mostly
And
they don't
then-
ever get to use that in Tahoe, so it's probably their one chance to be
That's true.
dust it off,
There's not a lot
show
of
it
SWAT.
off.
Yeah. But then we have a helicopter flyover. They also have a helicopter parachute over the lake. So about I think 8 people will jump out of a helicopter and parachute into the lake.
That's pretty cool.
And there'll be a bunch of flyovers during the day. And then they do, because Nevada, nearby air bases everywhere. But
Area 51. Maybe.
yeah, exactly. They're sending all the
You
people
got
over.
the aliens flying
We have
over.
some aliens. But then the best part, the very end, that gets the biggest applause at the parade, you'll never guess. Guess.
I got nothing.
It's the snow plows. They're massive. They have their chains on. The tires are twice as big as me. They're about 12-foot tires. And they come
run them
through. And they come through and then just junk, 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 junk. You hear the chains and the tires rolling and everyone's like, woo! Without those
Well, yeah,
without
you'd
those
be
plows,
stuck.
we don't have anything. Up in the mountains, it's you cannot get out. You have to, if they don't plow exactly when we need them in the right way and clear those roads, we can't get groceries. We can't get the kids to school. The thing is, it'll snow, here in Nashville, it snowed, the first year we moved here, it snowed 2 inches. The entire town was shut down
yeah.
for a week. No grocery stores, nothing.
That's devastating.
But in
around here.
Tahoe, we get 6 feet and school's still open. 6 feet in one day and school will still be open because those plows. Thanks, plows.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
How do you handle that with your driveway, though? Because the plow's not coming in your driveway.
We don't have driveways in Tahoe. We just park on the street or in our garages.
Well,
Most people don't have driveways in Tahoe because
so
you kind of
do
live on
when
the side of a
plow
mountain.
comes through? Does it not plow the snow up on your
Yeah,
car?
you have to have certain parking. You have to have specific like our plow knows where our car is parked, but it gets buried very quickly, overnight. A lot of people die in their cars in the snow, and that's what happened last year.
Oof.
And the Jeremy Renner incident, and people getting a lot of avalanches and
And we choose to live there. Why?
I love it. It's my paradise.
Well,
Love it. It's going to be weird not to be. It's just a weird summer to not be in Tahoe. Like that's what I've done my whole kid's life is spend the summer in Tahoe. And
right.
Now my kids are bigger and have football and requirements.
And you're going to Africa.
And we're going to Africa.
Which is so cool.
I know, it's going to be so cool. It's going to be weird. The only time I've ever been out of the country for 4th of July was when I was in Bahrain on an aircraft carrier in the middle of the Persian Gulf for USO tour. So that's the only other time I've missed. That's where the eagle dress came from. I brought it for that trip.
I have been out of the country many times on 4th of July. I've celebrated it in France, which is the day before, I think, Bastille Day.
It's 10 days before Bastille Day.
Oh, yeah. Where it was somewhere in there. So we didn't celebrate 4th of July, but then
Then you do Bastille. Yeah. Actually, that's true. I did that too. I was in France. I forgot that. When I was 18, I was riding a bike.
It's very similar there.
And so I felt like I had my 4th of July.
Fewer hot dogs.
You got
still fireworks.
Yeah.
Tons of fireworks.
We were at a tiny little lake. I don't even know where in France. And
then oddly, I've been in England twice now.
Oh, really?
For 4th of July.
Oh, that's funny.
Which is obviously
not where you want to celebrate independence.
Well, but here's the thing. We went to George Washington's family home, and they did a whole 4th of July celebration there.
Oh, wow.
So they had like a cookout. They had hamburgers and hot dogs, and they did 4th of July, and they had a band playing like American music. And
yeah, well, that's when I was in Bahrain. We were on the aircraft carrier, and then we went to an American, like an expat bar. Or I guess it would be it's not an expat, it's a pat. I don't know. Anyway, we went to a bar owned by an American, and they had decorations all up, and they brought out a cake that had George Bush's face on it. This is 2001, so this is right before September 11th.
Right.
And I think Bush had just become president, right, that year. So they brought out a cake with his face on it, and we ate the cake. But that was my 4th of July there. But it felt super like I'm on an American base and I'm in an American bar.
That feels like your home.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah. The Africa one's going to be different.
That's going to be very different. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any fanfare.
No.
While you're on safari.
No, I don't. I won't even know the date, to be honest.
No, probably not.
Amanda, do you know what I'm obsessed with? And I know you're obsessed with?
If you're going to say Skims.
Skims.
You're right.
I know you're obsessed with Skims. You talk about it all the time.
I know. And it's not just because they sponsor What Women Binge. I'm genuinely
not to. Yeah, it's so good. We just can't keep it to ourselves. We have to tell everybody.
The Fits Everybody collection by Skims is the greatest.
It's like their best kept secret.
I don't want to keep it a secret, though. I want everybody just to
Everybody needs to know. It feels like no other underwear I've worn before.
No, they're actually comfortable. There is no spillage. You know, if you've got like the back roll, there's none of that.
It just kind of melts onto your body.
Yes.
It just fits perfectly.
And where have you ever, since being a mom, have you ever really wanted to wear a push-up bra?
No.
Because I live in the push-up bra. Like, they're where they're supposed to be, where they once were.
The girls are where they're supposed to be. I love it.
It's comfortable. I don't even think about it. I love it. It's not digging into me. It's not poking anywhere. It's just fabulous. I love it. That and the t-shirt bra.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I wear because I need something like low cut with some of my dresses. Mm-hmm. And having the low cut bra was like really helpful for me.
It's the greatest.
And I feel like I was like the last person to try Skims, but I want to go scream it from the mountaintops. It's so great. I'll never go back.
I know. Skims is creating the next generation of underwear for literally everybody. It's amazing.
Everybody.
So the Fits Everybody collection of underwear is super lightweight. It molds to your body. It's buttery soft and stretches literally up to twice its size without ever losing its shape. It goes right back. It washes amazingly.
It's in sizes XXS to 4X.
That means everybody.
Everybody.
From teeny tiny all the way up. It is perfect.
So you guys can believe the hype. Skims has over 90,000 5-star reviews for a good reason.
The Fits Everybody collection and more perfect fit essentials are available now at skims.com.
Plus, get free shipping on orders over $75.
After you place your order, be sure to let them know that we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and let them know in the drop-down menu that What Women Binge is where you heard it.
Yes, please do that. And thank you, Skims, for sponsoring our show. So let's talk patriotism.
I love patriotic movies and music and books and all the things.
We do like World War II books. Oh, wait, I have to tell you something. Based on your England trip, 4th of July thing. When I was in Ottawa recently, I was doing a little tour around, it's the capital of Canada, and I was looking around at some of the stuff they had there, some of the historical stuff around Parliament area, and they have like this Big Ben clock, which is like their capital and building, or near the Capitol building, and they had all these statues. And so me and the girl that was playing my granddaughter in that's right, I was a grandma, for those that didn't hear that episode, we're walking around looking at the statues, reading the plaques. I'm making her. She's missing school. She's in like 5th or 6th grade. I'm like, come on, we're gonna go read the plaques.
Something.
Yeah. So we're reading the plaques. Oh, this is the tomb of the lost unknown soldier, right? So they have this big tomb of the unknown soldier in the middle of right in the middle of Ottawa, and then we saw these other statues, and we're learning about Lieutenant Bai, and it was called Bytown before it was Ottawa. And then we see this one of a woman. We're like, oh, let's read that one. We read it, and it's like she saved so many British soldiers during the War of 1812, and she just kept saving the British soldiers, and she did this and that, and tricked the Americans into. And I was like, oh, the War of 1812 was in Canada was fought differently than it like we were on opposite sides. I hadn't really considered that.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting to be in another country learning the history of a war that we were in.
That wasn't from our perspective.
That wasn't from our perspective. It was just weird. All of a sudden I was like, so I was trying to understand. I'm like, wait, she says they saved 10,000 British, but okay, I'm confused. And then I was like, oh, I get it now. She was on the other side.
Yeah.
Of the border.
1812, though, is that correct? Yeah, okay.
What, the War of 1812?
No, I'm just trying to remember which war was which.
Oh.
It all runs together.
It was like where they tried again. Yeah. Actually, it's where the name the volunteer state comes from. I found that out at the Tennessee Museum because so many people volunteered. I think this is correct. In Tennessee, so many people from Tennessee volunteered for the War of 1812.
That's correct.
And that's why it's called the volunteer state.
I
didn't know that. That's why they're the Vols. So if anyone knows college football, the Vols.
Oh, why has it got to be that color? That putrid.
What does she say in one of the best? Talk about a patriotic movie. I think The Blind Side's a great patriotic movie. But she says, well, anything about football or baseball, right? Field of Dreams.
Feels very American.
Sandlot. But doesn't she say, I will not, she's like, you can go to any school you want to, but I will not wear that gaudy orange. It's not in my color wheel.
Yeah. Very few people can pull that off. Hillary
can pull it off.
Our best friend can pull it off, and she's a huge
I think it's the olivey skin and the dark hair. Like,
yeah, she looks good in it. Yeah. I look ill.
Mm-hmm.
Ill. You know what I do look good in, though?
Pink and red.
Red,
white, and blue.
Right, and I do look good in blue.
You do.
It's true.
You do. You're like me, gem tones or jewel
and I
tones.
can't wear white on camera or it looks real funky, but I can pull off white too. It makes me look tan, which I've never looked tan unless I wear white. So.
I never used to like white or pink. I'm just starting to get into that. I'm putting that in my wheel, in my color wheel.
I'm rubbing off on you.
You are.
Let's talk patriotic movies because it's time to build a list for those of you at home.
Yeah. And they're always good summertime movies too, right? Yeah. I mean, patriotic movies
when
are always
that summertime thunderstorm rolls in and you need something to do in the afternoon, my number one all-time favorite patriotic movie
is
Independence Day.
Now, I've never seen it, but isn't that about aliens?
How have you not seen this?
Is it? I don't know. I was going to watch it last night, but I did something else you'd be proud of me.
What?
Not very patriotic, but I watched Mean Girls.
Okay. Oh, that is patriotic.
I finally watched Mean Girls. You've been wanting me to watch Mean Girls.
I needed you to do this, so I'm very proud of you.
I did. I finally did. You know why? I tried to show the kids Clueless. They kind of watched it. And then it was like, next up, Mean Girls. And I was like, yes, let's do this.
Did they watch
Mean
that?
Girls. No, just Mark and I.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, we wore pink on
Independence Day. Yes, it's about aliens. They invade. There's this scientist played by, Jeff Goldblum. Yes.
He's always a scientist, isn't he?
Oh, and he's a great one.
I love him.
It's that eccentric personality.
He's a really fun guy.
So he is the scientist. He realizes what's happening. He tries to go and tell everyone in Washington, including the president. Chaos ensues. They finally tell them, but it's a little too late. Then things happen. Vivica A. Fox is there being hot, and Will Smith is there being amazing, and it's just so good. Of course, they save the day because it's Independence.
So I've never seen that's a movie, and I've never seen like Men in Black, but I consider them to be very similar.
Not even a little bit similar.
Aren't they both like alien movies with Will Smith?
Men in Black, in like a minute here, is like Will Smith doesn't really know what he's doing with his life. Sits on a bench next to what's his face with the mean,
that guy,
the glasses. They flash him. He doesn't remember anything. He gets this card. He goes, interview goes good. He gets the job. Black suit, sunglasses, thingy, flashy
Tommy
thing.
Lee Jones, by the way.
That's him.
That's the guy.
Now he is like an intergalactic cop, basically, and there's this like world terminal where all these people are coming and going, kind of like the Ellis Island of aliens.
Okay.
And
wait, this is Men in Black.
Yeah.
But it sounds like no, it's not.
No, it's nothing like
Sorry.
There are good aliens and there are bad aliens in Men in Black. And Independence Day, they are all bad.
Oh, they're just coming to kill us.
They're just wiping us out.
Isn't that like every movie, like Transformers, Star Wars? The bad guys are always coming to take over the whole world. King Kong versus Godzilla.
No. Star Wars is an entire intergalactic
Pacific
universe.
Rim.
There are senators represented from each country or planet or whatever they are. It is a democracy in space.
Oh, okay. So that's not a patriotic movie, Star Wars.
No. Earth barely even exists in Star Wars.
I'm just making sure because it feels very American.
It's American made. So
it's American made. It feels super like. What about, would you consider Karate Kid to be a super patriotic movie?
No, but it's cool.
Yeah. It doesn't say a lot for Encino, California, but
Jaws.
All those bullies.
Jaws is a patriotic movie.
Because it's a beach movie.
And it's 4th of July.
It is 4th of July, that's right. So what about the movie, have you ever seen Born on the 4th of July?
No.
So I've never seen it, but I auditioned for it when I was little. And I was like, I'm going to be in a Tom Cruise movie, but I didn't get the part.
I'm trying to think of all the ways.
Okay, Air Force One is probably one of my absolute favorites.
Yes.
Absolute favorite because, I mean, Harrison Ford, anything.
Oh, why do...
I just love that guy. And he's just
Get
perfection.
off my plane.
Get off my plane. As he like shakes him and lets him go. If you ever saw Mommy Dearest, the boy who plays Christopher in that is one of the bad guys. He's the American bad guy.
If we ever saw Mommy Dearest, do you know how many times I saw Mommy Dearest?
So you know Christopher the brother, he's not in very much of the movie. Wire hangers. But Christopher from that is the bad American. Obviously, the bad guys in Air Force One, as it was in all 80s movies like Rocky and whatnot, are the Russians.
Yes.
And Gary Oldman plays a fantastic Russian terrorist, basically. But he's a nationalist. He's a guy who like wants Mother Russia back, right?
Right.
And so he kind of like Putin, like wants Mother Russia back. And he's willing to do whatever. He wants to release this prisoner in Russia, so he holds the American president hostage on his own plane. And it's that movie just
it
no
is a
matter
great movie.
How many times I've seen it and I know what happens, it just gets me so excited.
Another one.
I'm scared, I shake.
The American President.
The American President's
Gosh,
so
that's
good.
so good.
What's his name?
Handsome? I don't know.
Really? Kevin Kline. Isn't it Kevin Kline? No, wait.
No.
Who is it?
Doesn't sound right.
Hold on.
All I remember is, the biggest thing I remember is the evening gown with the gloves.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Douglas. That's who it is.
Michael Douglas. Oh, that's, for some reason, that is not who I was imagining. Wait, when you write in American, here's what comes up. American Psycho.
No.
American Pie.
Yes. Hilarious.
American Beauty. I love that movie.
I'm torn about that one.
I love that movie. American Gangster with Denzel and Russell Crowe.
Okay.
You got the TV show American Dad. You got American Horror Story. And American Graffiti, of course.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, Ron Howard, right? And Richard Dreyfuss and so many others.
Like the whole lot of them from the
so funny that 70s, other ones don't come up, like American Sniper, right? Isn't it called American Sniper?
I don't know. I don't know that one.
American Sniper is the one about, it's true story. Yeah, Bradley Cooper, Sienna Miller. It's the real-life Navy SEAL Chris Kyle.
Yes, that
Chris
is.
Kyle, who it's his story of him on the battlefield just being like super accurate, having so many kills, saving so many lives. But then he comes back to the U.S. and a guy with PTSD shoots him on the range, like on the shooting range, just turns and kills him. And it was just so upset.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't read the book
amazing,
or heard the story.
The real story of the real guy. And he had his wife and 2 children at home. And his wife was played by Sienna Miller in the movie. But that is, American Sniper is one of the, I think it won like a ton of Oscars and stuff.
Okay.
American Underdog is about the true story of Kurt Warner, who went from a stock boy at a grocery store to a 2-time NFL MVP and Super Bowl champion and Hall of Fame quarterbacker. Quarterbacker. Yeah, and it's all about his challenges and coming up and kind of like always kind of being a walk-on as far as I remember. He was like always sort of a walk-on, just and a little. He was a little out of the box. I think that was like his.
It's
way
another
he
one,
played
and
football.
I know it's more of a Christmas movie, but it's also not. I could watch it all year long. Rudy, with your friend Sean Astin.
You know, that's one of the
things. It is an all-American story.
Rudy is such a good one. Field of Dreams, of course.
Kevin Costner.
There's so many good football, baseball movies, right? And that's such an American thing because
I took Logan to a party at the house with the bathroom.
What?
Do you remember? I guess it was a couple months ago now. I told you about when I planned that engagement, and in the grandma's house in the powder room, there was a picture of Kevin Costner staring at you, and you sat down on the commode. I took Logan to another party at that house,
and
he was like, You're right. Kevin stared at me the whole time.
Kevin Costner, an American icon.
Yes, he is.
Especially with Yellowstone. I mean, that's an Americana movie,
I
TV
haven't
show.
seen it. I don't know.
What about American music?
Okay, well, I feel like Independence Day or 4th of July music is really classic rock, like the kind that I grew up with.
Like Bruce Springsteen, born in the USA?
Born in the USA. Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
To the sea. What else?
But like,
All of
but
those.
what about
Some
like
Jimmy
Katy Perry, Firework, as we've already
I
sung.
mean, sure.
And then you've got Miley Cyrus and
Party in the USA.
And then a ton of country, like every country song ever.
Oh, yeah, like Toby Keith.
Tick.
The
song Tick. Mark and I were in a Margaritaville once, and he goes, "Do you hear the lyrics to this?" And I was
Is it I'm Gonna Check You for Ticks?
I'm Gonna Check You for Ticks by Brad Paisley is like still our favorite. Like Mark and I just looked at each other from across this Margaritaville. We're like, is he saying I'm gonna check you for ticks?
He is.
That's brilliant. I love
Speaking of Margaritaville, I thought I had taken you to your first Margaritaville.
No, you just took me one in the middle of Times Square, which I thought was a waste of life.
But it turned out to be the best decision
You
ever
made me in Times Square at 10 o'clock at night.
No, it was
go to a
way closer to midnight.
It was. Well, we shut it down. Unfortunately, by the way, Margaritaville in Times Square, why do you close at 1 a.m.? Because it's New York City and it's Times Square and they're supposed to be open like all day long.
Let's just shout it out for what it is. It's amazing.
Well, I'm surprised they give up so much floor space for the giant Statue of Liberty in the middle. Because they could have so many more tables in there.
Are epic.
Our pictures are very cool. It was back in early December if you guys want to go look at our Instagram.
And you throw down 2 perfect margaritas and share a plate of nachos with your friends.
Yeah.
You will be
And that's why they close at 1
glad.
a.m. because all people do is sip on their old margaritas and eat the nachos, and there's no reason for them to stay open all night. But we closed down a Margaritaville in Times Square. That just seems like anti-New York.
Except for we had the best time.
I know we did. But I was like, we could be in Margaritaville in Florida. Like, why are we in New York City?
Well, because it was there across the street from the hotel.
That's true, it was.
And it was open.
It was.
And everybody
For
was
a little
hungry.
while.
And some of us were leery of dollar pizza at midnight.
And street meat. Some
I'm
of you
fine
would
with
not
street
allow the
meat.
street meat.
I was fine with that. But dollar pizza at midnight just sounds like...
pizza in New York is always a good idea.
No, that is gastric distress waiting to happen.
I see.
How long is that
But a
pizza?
plate of nachos is just fine.
Well, yeah.
Beans and
Yeah.
jalapenos.
Oh, my son came home the other day and did the whole beans, the magical fruit.
Oh.
And I was like, oh.
At least he did it that way. Because that's a clean...
It's alive and well with this generation.
Well, because we always did beans, they're good for your heart.
The more you eat them, the more you fart.
The more you fart, the better you feel. So eat your beans with every meal. I love that one. I love it. I'll sing it all the time.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
So is Ted Lasso British or American?
I would say more a celebration of British culture.
That's true. What about, oh my gosh.
It's a
Forgot my
caricature of
favorite.
American culture.
Apollo 13.
Oh, yes.
I mean, and then what's the other space
So
movies?
good.
Like
All of them.
Space Camp. And
Logan
Space Camp's
loved
like Mark's
that one.
favorite. Mark wanted to be at Space Camp so badly and his parents wouldn't send him.
You know we can go to adult space camp.
I know, Mark was thinking about it because he's obsessed.
We should do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
In Huntsville, right?
Yeah,
They have one,
it's
or
2
they have
hours
one in,
away.
I think,
we got
Texas.
no reason not to.
But Apollo 13. Can we talk about this movie?
Yes.
Our friend Gary Sinise was in it. Tom Hanks, of course. Kevin Bacon. Who's the other one that goes up with him? Bill Pullman, I think. Is it Pullman?
Pullman
Who's
or
the other-
Paxton?
Oh, Paxton. Sorry. I just get them confused.
Rest his
And those are
soul.
like the 4 big stars,
I
right?
miss Bill Paxton. Twister.
Yeah, Twister's one of my favorites too. I would call that an American movie.
That is a great summertime. Maybe not Independence Day movie, but like
It's a good summertime
It's
when
a
you're
good
right.
summertime.
Because of that, the weather. The crazy weather.
it's so good.
We've got hail. When they're like, we've got hail.
cow.
But Apollo
Another
13,
cow.
just learning, like, I love movies when it's super entertaining and you want to watch it 7 million times, but at the same time, you're learning something.
What's
like,
the one that is not
hang
Apollo
on.
13?
Hang on, we're staying on Apollo 13.
Okay.
Hold on. So, like, do you remember it well? Like, they have to use the gravity of the moon. Like, in the
to
true
slingshot
story,
it around.
to slingshot themselves around because they ran out of, like, amps to power they couldn't get the engines on.
There
or
was
whatever.
only enough gas to.
Yeah, to power at one time for re-entry or whatever, and if they didn't come in at the right angle, they would burn up on on re-entry and like all that. Like, I mean, the whole thing. Trying to figure out the amps.
really committed that.
Well, and then the window and how to keep, if they kept the Earth in a certain piece of the window, then knew they were in the right trajectory and all this like firing off the right things at the right times. And oh my gosh, and Gary Sinise not supposed to go because he has the flu, but then Kevin Bacon gets the flu, I think.
I don't.
And so here's one up in the cabin in the capsule, sick, when Gary Sinise is on Earth trying to figure out those amps for them, and he's running the drills in the simulator, and like, oh, so intense. I love that movie so. So I have to say, like,
I kind of
Apollo
want to go
13,
home and watch that one now.
I know, it's so good. After I took the kids to the Space Museum.
That's a really
on a
good
field
one.
trip. I wanted to go home and watch it so bad.
Now here's a question.
But wait, Apollo 13, The Rock, and what was the other one I said before? Oh, Air Force One. Those are like, and Shawshank Redemption. But those are like my favorite movies.
Those are all great.
Just want you to know that.
I
Okay.
fully support all
Anyway,
this.
what were you saying?
Armageddon was the one I was thinking of.
Armageddon. But that feels more space.
It's a spacey movie.
Apollo 13, I guess,
Liv
feels...
Tyler was there.
She was. Someone was singing to someone. Ben Affleck. Bruce.
Why couldn't that
Bruce's
have? I mean,
driller.
I love
all
Ben
oil
and
drillers, right? Lots of muscles and vibrating of machines and rock, stuff like that. Oh, what's his name too? Bill.
No, do we think that the moon landing happened?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Why would they lie about?
Well, there's
that?
this whole thing, and I've always been so sure my whole life.
Makes me mad.
And now I'm starting to question it.
Stop
As a
it.
37-year-old woman, I'm like, wait, have I
Stop
been
it.
lied to?
Stop it.
I don't want to be that person, but I'm
you think
kind
there's
of
just a
wondering.
fake? What? Because the flag doesn't move?
Well, there's no wind on the moon. That's when the flag doesn't move.
Exactly.
No. So I guess there's this interview, and I don't really know the whole context, and I probably should have watched the whole thing before I opened my mouth. But
I love it.
I
Just
think it's
give us conspiracy
Buzz
theories.
Aldrin is talking to a child about the moon landing, and he basically says it didn't happen. And granted, he is an old man, so it could have just been a
But do you think
senior
that
moment.
it's like? But it also could be playing it for a kid that maybe he sees fear in his face and he's like, "Never mind, didn't happen." You know what I
it
mean?
wasn't like that. It was like an onstage like interview kind of thing. Then
Wait, let's do. Okay, we talked about the American president, Pearl Harbor.
but wait,
Oh, I'm so sorry. Was there more?
did we settle whether or not the moon landing happened?
We never will.
How will we never know?
We're going to settle it right now on our podcast, you and I.
I mean, wouldn't that be incredible if we did?
That'd be pretty fun.
I mean,
Well, what's the end of the
talk about the sponsorships we'd get then.
Nicolas Cage movie? Oh, The Rock. At the end of The Rock,
Yes.
he leaves The Rock and he goes to the church that Mason, that's one of the reasons I named my son Mason, was because of Sean Connery's character
that is.
Mason. Mason tells him, if you ever get out of here, go to something church in Texas and look in the third pew leg or something. And he steals the leg off the church door and he's driving away and his wife's driving him away, Carla something or other. She's driving him away and he like takes the film reel out and he has a loop and he's looking at it as they're driving and he's like, honey, you want to know who killed JFK? But I think he says something like, want to know about the moonlight? Like it's like all, like in other words, all the secrets are there on that reel. So we just got to get that. We got to go find that
Texas,
church.
we will go.
Texas, I think it's Texas, Oklahoma, something like that. We got to find the right church, the right pew, and steal the leg, and then we'll know.
I'm ready.
I wonder how many people have tried to find that.
It's a movie. It's fiction, so I assume that doesn't exist, but
Yeah, it would be, but I wonder if people have tried.
I'm sure they have.
Okay, what about 1776? You ever see that? It's from 1972, so probably not. The
Probably
Patriot.
not.
Did we talk about the Patriot?
Oh, The Patriot is so good.
That's actually taken place during the. It was shot
That's
in
Mel
2000.
Gibson,
with Mel
right?
Gibson, yeah.
Yes, that one was really good.
Miracle, hockey movie.
Oh, I love Miracle.
National Treasure, same year, both 2004.
All the National Treasures are great.
National Treasure is a good one. Hacksaw Ridge.
Is Night at the Museum considered a patriotic movie?
No.
No? There's a lot of patriotic characters in there.
Maybe. It could be. Sure. Why not? There's a lot of dinosaurs too, though.
But can we talk about how in love my kids are with Night at the Museum? And it makes me really happy.
So good.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Do they ever get scared to go in museums because of it, though?
No. Are you kidding? They'd rather get locked in and all of that come to life around them.
Oh my gosh. What about Pearl Harbor?
Okay, this was my question ahead of time.
I mean, any
is
war
Pearl
movie.
Harbor a patriotic movie? Because it is kind of about like the demise of a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, but so were so many of these movies, right? Like,
And it led to some really not so great things that Americans did.
Country did, but it also it was our entry point into the world's biggest war,
That
and
is
it was
true.
So it's a catalyst for a huge historical moment, and it is a huge historical moment in our history. So I think it is
Okay.
because it doesn't matter if it's good or bad; it's still our history, and it's
Again,
still.
No, it wasn't Liv Tyler in that one, was it? It was another girl who kind of looks like Liv Tyler.
There was a whole bunch. I remember I auditioned for this one too.
Of course.
But there was a whole bunch. It's Ben Affleck again, Josh Hartnett,
Oh,
Kate Beckinsale,
he's back.
Jennifer Garner.
Josh Hartnett's back.
Josh Hartnett's back. Was he?
He's
doing?
acting again.
Oh, really? Was he not?
Oh, he like gave up big time after something.
Why?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him?
Okay. What, on Instagram?
I don't know.
Hey, Josh.
I feel like y'all should be friends. All the all the 90s.
Hot mic.
And early
mic
aughts
check.
actors.
Josh, why did you give up? Why did you quit?
I'm sure it's
why
out
you
there.
Back? Oh, speaking of Matthew McConaughey, lots of Americana movies.
McConaughey? Is that what we just called him?
Matthew McConaughey. What do you say? McConaughey?
Yes.
McConaughey?
Yeah.
I don't know. I say McConaughey, but I'm from New York. He's Texan. I don't know. Whatever.
I'm not
Matt.
comfortable
Let's
with
just call him Maddie. So Maddie, I have some funny stories about Maddie. I'm listening to his book on tape right now. No, not at all. I wish I did. Sounds like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
But I've had so many run-ins with like kind of near-death experiences with him. No, not near-death. Near run-ins with him. He, well, first of all, his book is pretty cool.
His book is great.
You gotta listen to him read it though, because he's so funny the way his tone changes and he talks fast and you hear his all right, you know, like all that's so fun. I didn't know Dazed and Confused is one of my favorite movies, and I would call that a patriotic movie. I mean, maybe not patriotic, but Americana.
It's
Let's
Americana.
call it Americana.
For sure.
Yeah. So as much as like American Graffiti or something like that. But his character, he wasn't supposed to do all those scenes. He kind of showed up at a wardrobe fitting and they stuck him in a bunch of scenes like, I like those redheads, and you know, the only line that there was in the script, I don't think all right was in there, but the line that was written in the script that he was supposed to deliver was the one about, I love these high school girls. I get older, they stay the same age. It's one of the best lines ever. But that's one of the only that's scripted. He seems to have
said
improv
well in 2023.
a lot. No, but it's a funny line.
My, how the world has changed.
But it's so true, because no matter how old you get, high school girls stay the same age.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fact. But he's so funny, and he has done so many great movies, like Not a Time to Kill. Oh my gosh, I'm having total brain farts today because we sang the brain fart movie or the brain fart song. See? Brain fart. Hold on. What's the movie called?
It's now a drinking game. How many times can Melissa say the word fart in one episode?
Fart. I used to be called Melissa Fart when I was little.
Care to explain?
Matthew McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Hey. What's the movie he was in? That was his big breakout where he's the lawyer, and he has to convince the guy that kills his daughter's killers. He kills the daughter's killer.
That was not English.
A Time to Kill.
Okay.
Yeah, it is A Time to Kill.
There it is.
I said that, didn't I?
I've not seen that one.
Yeah, Time to Kill. Oh, really?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I just think about him in
What
How
a
to Lose a
good
Guy in
movie.
10 Days.
Yeah, that's a great one. Or the wedding planner. The wedding planner.
I love that one too.
Yeah, I caught that one the other day at my mammogram. Samuel Jackson, Kevin Spacey, Sandra Bullock, Matthew McConaughey are all in that movie, and they're McConaughey are amazing. That was 1996, and that's supposedly like his big. That's when he says he went from like being not a well-known actor to being famous all of a sudden. But gosh, there's so many movies that he's done that are so iconic and so wonderful, and I'm trying to think what my point was, but
Okay.
brain fart.
So back to my list. Independence Day is at the top.
Yeah.
I feel like
Interstellar. He did Interstellar. Sorry, that's another one. Sorry. Brain fart. Go for it.
Sandlot, which we mentioned,
Yes.
but we need to give it its due.
Yeah,
I feel
sad
like
to say I
once
don't
your
really know
child is of age to like hear the words and see the things from Sandlot, it's a classic.
Mark's shown the kids, but I've never really watched it.
I've hesitated. I haven't shown my kids yet. I think Riker's at the right age. He's 10. I think he can handle it. My girls, I think it would all go over their heads, but I'll probably like wait just a little bit longer. Because I did Home Alone this year, which, wow. Should have given it a couple more years.
Really? Why?
There are so many things in there that I was like, oh.
Well, John
The
Hughes
90s
movies
were
in general.
different time.
If you watch John Hughes movies, the language is actually worse than you would think. Like if you watch Uncle Buck, they use
yeah.
the B word and the S word.
You
a
have to
lot.
remember, like as children, a lot of times we watch the TV edits of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you
That's
watch them now as
true.
adults, you don't even realize like what's been cut out.
Yeah, there's certain things you can't watch anymore.
But Home Alone, it was like the way that the oldest sibling talked to everybody, you know,
Oh,
all the
that's so
cursing,
real at my house.
the like trunk full of naked girls, like, you know, all the stuff that you're like,
Yeah.
I can explain. Just pretend like you didn't see that. Yeah.
but I feel like
The abandonment issues.
Oh, here's what I was talking
only
about.
90s kids really.
The Right Stuff. That's the space movie I was trying to think of. The Right Stuff. That's a very American movie.
How about Space Jam?
Okay. How about Top Gun?
Oh,
Hello. How can we forget Top Gun and
no,
Maverick?
it was on my list. I just hadn't gotten to it yet.
What about Courage Under Fire?
I don't know that one.
That's a good one.
Wait, go back to Top Gun. Let's talk about
Top
that.
Gun. The sequel is probably the only one better than the original.
I think they're both amazingly good.
The first one, though, when you watch it
a
back,
classic.
there's so much like romance.
You never saw
Yeah, and like riding on the motorcycle across the sun setting over the ocean, and
your lips.
it's too. Are we getting the rights to this song?
There's no tenderness like before in your fingertips.
What is it? They play
You lost that
no, but they do the
love
fire.
feeling.
Oh my gosh! I just showed my kids La Bamba a few weeks ago. That was
Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire. That's what they sing.
You shake my nerves.
Because that's what Goose sings to his wife, to Meg Ryan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great cast.
Oh, Meg Ryan.
That's a great movie. I mean, Goose dying, spoiler alert, is like the most. Oh, come on. Everybody's seen Top Gun. And if they didn't, they definitely saw it last year. But Maverick was so good too. I think it gave its the dues to the first one in just the right way. Like it kind of like paid homage to it in just the right doses.
Homage
or homage, whatever, however you want to say it. Are you French or not?
Homage.
Homage. A lot of people say homage. No, it's homage.
Sure.
Right?
I'm questioning everything today.
But I think like it's like foyer and foyer, right? Yeah, vase or vase. It's like depends on how hoity-toity you are. If we want to say homage,
I've always said homage.
We'll say homage.
I don't know if that's honestly when you say all those other words, I'm like, oh no, that's not correct.
I don't know. Homage. So when we homage the original Top Gun,
sounds bad.
Okay. So let's just say when you give due credit,
we paid homage too.
Yes, we paid homage. I think that it did the right amount. Like talking about Goose, just the right amount. Talking about
Goose.
They actually didn't bring Meg Ryan into it though, did they? That's one part I would
bring her back.
Yeah,
they did talk about her and said that like she wouldn't talk to.
Oh, well, she doesn't act anymore.
Like she was angry at Maverick.
Oh,
right.
Well, that's a shame because it was huge.
She died in the movie. Oh boy, I was off.
She died in Maverick. I don't remember that.
She was apparently deceased already.
But she was one of my favorite parts of that because she was just an up-and-coming actress when the first Top Gun came out.
I mean, stunningly beautiful.
But I mean,
so cute.
The scenes and the like, I got excited about being in the cockpit with.
Did you hold your breath?
Maverick, yes.
I held my breath.
I was doing this.
Time.
I kept going, ooh, and put my arms up and like screaming. And like, and Mark had to hold my arms down because I was like, oh, it was like I was on a roller coaster. I'm going left and right. I'm banking with him. And like, you could see that G-force pulling on his face. It was amazing.
And
when
you knew they couldn't breathe, I was just like,
oh.
Like I was making sure like I could hold my breath that long, for the next time I'm in a fighter jet.
So good. So good. And you just knew Goose's kid had to be there. And, he's still a loose cannon. He's still Maverick. He's still the one that they can't trust not to buzz the tower and all this stuff.
So fun.
It's such a fun movie. It's so awesome. But what about Private Benjamin? One of the few with a female in the lead.
I don't know if I know that one.
Oh my gosh. Goldie Hawn, Stripes, Bill Murray.
Oh, well,
classic
Bill Murray
comedy.
In general is just like an American classic.
Men of Honor. We Were Soldiers. There's another.
Oh, We Were Soldiers. That was a great
A League
one.
of Their Own.
Oh,
such a good Americana movie because it's about the war. And the men leaving,
why they're playing baseball.
And women have to play baseball.
Well, they don't have to.
Well, if they want entertainment, and they get paid to play baseball, but they've only ever been homemakers before. And there are some Rosie the Riveters, but really they go off to play baseball and they become this amazing team. And it's a true story.
Great movie.
Great
There's
movie.
No
if you guys are too young.
Baseball.
Well, Tom Hanks, always amazing, right?
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Do we consider Hamilton a movie? It's more of a
There was a movie
They
version.
put it out.
Glory. I've never seen
Oh, gosh. Okay, so in 5th grade, they sent home permission slips for us to watch Glory after we finished our Civil War unit, which was basically all of 5th grade. I remember it being very long and exhausting. And we had to have permission to watch it because apparently they say the F word in it.
Oh.
I don't know exactly. Or there were curse words and violence and gruesome blood.
And so
that was on the permission slip.
Had to sign it.
Our parents had to sign it, and I begged my parents. I was like, please don't make me do this. And they're like, it's educational. I'm like,
So did you enjoy it?
No.
You didn't
it
like
took like
it?
5 days to watch it, because it's like the longest movie ever.
Really?
And no.
It's Denzel and
Yes.
Morgan Freeman.
It's an incredible
and
cast.
Matthew Broderick.
Yes. It's an incredible cast. It's
Carrie Elways.
You should watch it for
Yeah, I
sure.
should. I've never heard of this. What about Saving Private Ryan?
Oh, that's a great one. Also, it's so sad.
Makes me sad. I think that I've avoided that one because it does make you sad.
Okay.
Harriet?
I love Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption.
Does that not make you sad? Because it makes me terribly sad every time.
Yeah, but it's wonderful.
So is Saving Private Ryan.
Especially when, what's his name, dies.
Your recall today is like...
I know. My brain is just turned off. Harriet, about Harriet Tubman. That came out in 2019. I remember thinking that was one of the best movies
and I have
of
not
the year.
seen it.
Oh, it was so good.
I need
Such
to see
a good
that.
movie. Zero Dark 30.
Oh.
That's twisted.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Gettysburg. Lincoln.
Another one I had to have permission to watch. I think that was 4th grade. Maybe that was also 5th grade.
Oh my God, was Lincoln 11 years ago that came out? Because I remember going to see it in the movie theater like it was last year. I went with a group. I got a whole bunch. You know how I do. I got a whole bunch of adults to come with me. I was so obsessed with it. I thought it should win all the Oscars.
Do you guys see movies by yourself ever?
Never.
Why?
I've been wanting to, but I haven't.
Do you know how delightful that is?
You know, I usually talk to people about seeing movies by myself, but then I invite them to come with me. It happens like on every movie set I'm ever on. I'm like, while I'm here in this strange city, country, I'm gonna go see a movie by myself. Do you want to come with me? And then like they're always like, yeah, I'll come with you. So I never do see movies by myself.
It is a delightful thing. You know how, I think I've talked about it here before, how my favorite thing to do, especially when my kids were younger, was my Wednesdays while they were at school would just be my me time. And I would go out and I'd get my errands done or whatever. And then I would go and I would sit at a bar in a restaurant and eat lunch by myself. And I'd get my little salad and I'd take a book or a magazine or I'd scroll on my phone. And it was so wonderful.
Heaven.
And occasionally I would go to a movie by myself. And you get your popcorn and Coke and you're just like,
gosh,
in the zone.
I need to do that.
Especially movies that I know like my husband or my kids or whatever aren't going to go see.
Yeah. I know. And I haven't, like last year I was so good about going to the movies in general. I haven't gone to the movies much this year. Lincoln, Daniel Day-Lewis, Tommy Lee Jones, Sally Field, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes.
You know.
It was good.
It was so good.
I don't remember it being anything like
It was long. It's
spectacular.
It's 2.5 hours. It was a long one. Oh, Hidden Figures. Now
Great
that's a fantastic movie. And
so good, so entertaining. True story.
yeah, it's one of these like true stories that we just kind of are learning about, right? Kind of like the Tulsa Massacre. Like we're just learning about some of this history of stuff that's like in our country that we didn't know was happening at the time. So you got Taraji P. Henson in that. Octavia Spencer is so good. Janelle Monáe. Kevin Costner, another Kevin Costner.
Where did the Tulsa Massacre come into?
Oh, I'm just
Hidden
saying, like
Figures.
Movie, because those stories kind of I learned.
I feel like you
I learned
hang
about those
on
stories at the same
to
time.
really, really painful things.
I do like
We're gonna have a therapy session.
tragic stories.
We're gonna
stick
unload
with
this a
me.
little bit.
Okay, therapy session. Tragic stories do stick with me. I think they stick with everyone. But like learning about something that's American history that we didn't know. I didn't know there were a whole bunch of African American women that were behind the scenes at NASA. I had no idea.
I only knew that because I read the book first.
I had no idea that Black Millionaire Row was bombed in Oklahoma. Like I had no idea. I just feel like this is all kind of new history that we're hearing about that's old history, you know? So it just feels like there's this, sort of, we're now making movies of these stories that we haven't been told.
I think it's good that those things are sticking with you, but some of them I'm like, hey girl, let's throw that out.
I know, I need to
make some space for some
let
happy in there.
Things go. I hold on to things, it's true. But I love stories. And these are stories. And I wonder, I think there might be, I mean, they're now making the Tulsa Massacre like part of history finally in that state where they didn't before. It wasn't part of history.
Is there a movie about that?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. That's why when I saw Hidden Figures, I was like, I wonder if
surely
they're going to make
that.
Yeah. But it's so cute now because now it's school for like Wax Museum Day where our kids dress up as they get to pick someone that's a hero, an American hero. They become a wax figure and someone pushes the button on them and they read back something that they've memorized about that person. A lot of them are being one of these hidden figures or, there's just new characters in our American history, even if they're older that, people didn't know about. And we definitely didn't, we weren't these people. I mean, there's obviously also like gymnasts and Olympians and stuff that have come up that our kids are being that we didn't grow up with because they're new to the sort of Olympic.
Yeah.
They're young,
It's happened in their lifetime or in ours.
Yeah, but for something like this, of course we know about John Glenn, but we didn't know about Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary
Riker
Jackson.
was John Glenn for Halloween when he was 3 years old, and it was the cutest thing I have ever seen in my whole life. All of his people around him dressed up as the solar system. Oh. And I was gigantic pregnant with the twins.
Which one were you?
Right before the twins were born.
Were you Jupiter?
No, I think I was... What was I?
I mean, you should have been Jupiter because you're the biggest.
I had on this big dress and it had stars all over it, and we all wore bucket hats with like galaxy print.
Oh, so maybe you're the Milky Way.
Maybe so.
Were you Mama Milky Way?
But I also made like sandwich boards of like planets for everybody to wear.
You're Miss Crafty.
They were really cute.
I should have come to you for our invention convention.
Yeah, you should have. I'd thrive.
Oh, we did this invention convention. I'd never heard of this.
All the elementary crafts.
I had never heard of this before. And then last year when you guys were in 3rd grade and Tucker was only in 2nd, I was hearing all about this invention convention. It put so much pressure on me. And for a year, I was like, I'm going to find an invention. And then I couldn't find one. And I ended up talking to Tucker. Tucker wanted to do something where you hold your iPad, but it has a snack tray underneath it.
Cute.
And I was like, that's cute. But like, it feels a little bit maybe done or it's like not cool enough. And then I just, at last minute, kind of was like, let me tell you what I did when I was a little girl. And I had a shed with all of our family bicycles with 5 kids and 2 adults and baby seats and all this other stuff. There's bicycles in there, and I could never get my bike out to ride to ballet or my friend's house. I would have to pull out 3 other bikes. My shins would get hit by the pedals, right? The handlebars are tangled in someone else's tire rim, and you can't get it loose, and it would cause me so much frustration as a child. So I took my mom's Wheel of Fortune game, and she had a little pretend bike on like a bookshelf, and I put that on there, and I built a shed around it, and I was like, you're going to spin it, put the ramp down, and take your bike off. And so I told him about that, and he kind of liked it, and he did it too. So we shared.
I see what you did there.
About 30 years apart, we shared, maybe 40. We shared the same invention.
The bike carousel.
The bike, he called it the bike go round.
Cute.
Yeah.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah, and Daddy helped him build it. His was made out of wood. I think mine was made out of cardboard, but because I actually built mine. And then my parents help. These days, we're all doing everything for our kids.
Well, like I said, I thrive on elementary crafts. I get mad when they don't want me to do it.
I feel like you should get your own project and then the kids should get theirs too.
Let me just tell you, if you have a kid going into the 1st grade this coming year and you're going to get to disguise a turkey and you need some awesome ideas.
Disguise wait, what? Like a real turkey? What do you know?
It's like this cartoon coloring sheet turkey, and your job is to disguise the turkey. So it doesn't get eaten for Thanksgiving.
Turkey on a 2-dimensional turkey.
So you costume it.
Okay.
And
so we're dressing a turkey is what you're calling it.
I'm living my best life when I'm disguising turkeys.
Are you serious?
Oh, I kill at this game. Like,
what did you do to it?
Oh, Rikers?
By the way, nothing more American than Thanksgiving.
Nothing more. Rikers was the Ghostbuster Slimer.
Oh, yeah.
I turned that turkey into Slimer, and it had like the no-ghost symbol behind him as the tail.
What?
It was awesome.
I'm not quite understanding this. Can you post this?
And it had hands, 3D hands.
Did you post this?
I'm sure it's on my Instagram.
I'm going to need to see this.
And then this year, I did 3 of them because I had my 2 girls plus my nephew.
Oh my gosh, of course you did.
And so I did the queen and a corgi.
I love that you don't even like try to get the kids involved. You just do it. You're just fully admitting that you do it right now. It's all right. They don't listen. Those teachers are already like...
Oh, they totally do listen.
Okay. They love you anyway.
It's okay. We already graduated.
Yeah, you're good.
So we're good. It's July now.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the queen and a corgi, and then I did Darth Vader. It was so good. And he was awesome. He had a lightsaber, which was like a glow stick bracelet that I like.
You're funny. You're cracking me up. Oh, but Star Wars isn't American. Well, what would you say is your most American book?
Okay.
Are there any?
Oh, there are so many.
I can't think of any.
There are so many.
I mean, other than like biographies, obviously. I mean, we love a John Meacham, like American Lion, about Jackson.
I don't know.
But that's typical. Like a biography, you can't call like an American biography.
I feel like a John Grisham novel or like a Stephen King or something like that. Even though I don't really like
feels
either
very Americana.
necessarily.
That's true.
Those feel very American.
I do love Stephen King.
Danielle Steele.
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. Although I just feel like they look British. Like the covers look British or something.
Do they? I don't know. I don't. When I'm thinking 4th of July, I'm thinking pie.
Yep.
Swimming.
Watermelons.
Movies, because
we used to go.
It always rains.
We used to go to a 4th of July party every year, and my mom would take a watermelon. She would do this cool thing. She would she would take the watermelon, cut it. She would
make it a basket,
the kind that used to be big. You guys, before we genetically bred them to be small and round and no seeds, we would take a big watermelon, giant watermelon,
and make
right?
a picnic basket out of it.
And make a picnic basket out of it. Cut the handle, open it up, scoop the inside out. But when we scooped the inside out, then we had to ball them. So we would ball the watermelon. We would ball a cantaloupe and a what's it called, honeydew. And so we'd have all these bits back in the basket would be little balls of cantaloupe and watermelon.
There's a bit of you that's Southern, whether you like to admit it or not.
That's just Americana, girl.
I don't know. That feels very
you
Southern.
You can be in Montana. You can be in
and somebody's
New
bringing
Mexico,
a watermelon
and
basket.
somebody's bringing a watermelon. My favorite summer thing to make, because I don't cook a lot, is watermelon salad with watermelon, feta,
yes,
mint, a little bit of, is it lemon juice? It's like lemon juice and olive oil, I think.
And salt.
Put a little of that on there. Oof, yummy, yummy.
You're making me
and little
hungry.
cherry tomatoes. You need cherry tomatoes too. Cut them in half.
I could eat a tomato all day long, but it has to be a real summer tomato.
It has to have a lot of salt on it.
If it's pink, it's not happening. I'm sorry. It's not a real tomato.
Summertime foods are a real thing.
I'm almost there. My first blueberry turned blue this week.
Yay, you got blueberries. Then you can put those in your watermelon basket when you go to your 4th of July party.
I've got mint coming out my ears. So much mint.
I know, you like to grow mint.
My tomatoes are getting there. We're not there yet, but we're getting there.
How many are you in the apocalypse?
I planted corn this year for the first time.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a 4th of July food.
Yes, for sure.
Corn on the cob.
Yeah, corn on the cob. It's also a Thanksgiving food. I mean, go figure.
Of course.
We got some all-American stuff going on.
Trying new things.
Well, I hope that you had a very lovely, lovely Independence Day, and I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful summer. Remember to get a DD, designated driver, if you're out partying.
Stand 6 feet away from any fireworks.
At least. Yeah, don't light things in your front yard with kids around, please.
I love those videos, though. I live for those videos.
No, they make me
People
so
doing
scared.
dumb things.
I'm like, so scared. If you want to jump off a roof with an umbrella, that's your own thing. But don't go lighting fireworks around kids, okay?
If you're going to do it, though, take a video, please.
Make sure there's a GoPro or iRing somewhere nearby watching the whole thing.
Well, this has been a whole jumble of episode, but it's been fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys. And everyone, happy Independence Day.